Be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today's truth for the day comes from Psalm 34, verse 12. Who is the man who desires life and loves length of days that he may see good? The psalmist answers that. It says, the one who turns away from evil and seeks peace. Let us pray. Our Lord, our God, you have ordained each breath and heartbeat of our being. At the appointed time, you give life, and when our time expires, it is in accord with your sovereign design. So teach us to number our days that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. Today we lift up your appointed leaders in this house assembly. These are your servants called to administer these proceedings today. These are frail instruments whom you have ordained to lead, guide, and direct all that comes to fruition today. Please grant wisdom and knowledge to those you have appointed as ministers of the South Carolina House of Representatives. O Lord, you are just, faithful, and kind in all your ways. We stand in need of your amazing grace to fulfill our calling. Grant each of us the knowledge of who you are, so that we may lead this state and be a beacon in hope and security for those entrusted to our care. Please give each of us a greater faith to serve you to the fullness of our capacity, so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you are, O Lord, our God alone. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, members, we're in the roll call. Please record your presence. We're in the roll call.
Test. Welcome to State House today. I'm Gavin Jackson here in the State House lobby with Maayan Schechter. Maayan, it is Thursday, February 26th. Last day of the 7th week of the legislative session.
That's right, and almost done with February. Yeah. We're almost to a brand new month.
And then in that month, the budget debate, like we've been talking about, will be happening in the House. That's going to be a big one, March 9th.
That's right, yeah, no, March is actually an incredibly busy month for the legislature. We have that, we have college screenings are starting.
Judicial elections,
PSC elections, so no sleep for March.
All gas, no breaks. And that's kind of funny because I always feel like January, we kick it off in January, that second Tuesday. And then you kind of just like go through, and then it's all of a sudden March. It's
right.
Like, here we are. So that's what we've been talking about, week 7. And yesterday was kind of a testament to that, too, because it was a very long day here at the State House, specifically in the House. Again, we had that joint assembly around noon, and we heard from the American Legion commander, and, you know, gave that good address that they always do to both chambers. And of course, the House was in at 10, but they went until about like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And that's because that debate on that 10 Commandments bill took up a lot of time. I don't know if you were watching it, but that was pretty much what we were watching all day yesterday. And that was a fascinating debate there too, Maayan, because it was so, I don't want to say dramatic, but one of those kind of more controversial debates when we saw folks get up and talk a lot and sometimes not talk at the well. I mean, yeah, because we did see cloture invoked on that bill, which really limited how many amendments could be filed to the bill and how long people could talk about the bill. And again, this bill would require schools, K through 12, colleges, universities, to post an 11 by 14 display of the 10 Commandments in every classroom. And again, this would also allow schools to post other founding documents too. But of course, a lot of proponents for this bill were saying that they see the 10 Commandments as being a critical part to the founding of the nation and the Western civilization when it comes to Christianity and its influence on America. So it was a little bit back and forth, even with a lot of Christians on both sides, Democrats and Republicans arguing about this. A lot of hurt feelings at some moments when people were talking about debates and whether they should amend the bill to include some other language dealing with the Golden Rule, for example. We heard from Representative David Weeks, who's a Democrat from Sumter, who's also a deacon, saying that, hey, we should put the Golden Rule as part of this too. But a lot of consternation came from Representative Stephen Long, who was saying, who's the author of the bill, who said that they want to keep it in line with as much as possible with what Louisiana passed into law. And of course, that law was challenged and most recently has been upheld by that Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals too, because, and that's kind of really getting a lot of ammunition to folks too when it came to this debate, saying that, hey, this is legal, we need to follow Louisiana's lead on this and do it right. And I think we're going to definitely see a challenge should it get through the Senate where it's now headed.
Right, and that legislation also includes the chaplain,
Right.
volunteer chaplains, which allows schools to have a volunteer chaplain program. Of course, the chaplains who can be of many faiths must meet background checks. Also, parents are allowed to, they must have parental written consent to opt in as well. But yeah, whether that bill actually makes its way through the Senate, which again, as we've talked to Senate Republican leaders time and time again about what their priorities are, this is just not one of those pieces of legislation that has come up at all. Now that could absolutely change. As we've talked about before, we do have a couple of senators who are seeking, or actually a few senators who are seeking higher office. So obviously this would be something they'd like to, I'm sure, talk about. But again, remains to be seen.
Yeah, and again, that vote was 84-31 on H 4762. So a little bit of bipartisan support there too. And it's getting quiet in the State House lobby because we have another press conference going on that includes 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman, who's running for governor, and some members of the House Freedom Caucus discussing elections. So we may have some video of that on YouTube at youtube.com/@SCETV News, where you can also watch us streaming State House Today as well as over on ETV World over the air. But Maayan, you were also covering the Senate yesterday. What happened in the Senate? What were some big actions going on over there?
Right, the Senate on the floor was a pretty tame-ish day. Now, there was a lot of debate over a bill dealing with the consumer affairs and turning that into part of the governor's cabinet. We also saw a lot of debate over a bill sponsored by Senator Tom Davis dealing with abandoned building tax credits.
Yes.
We saw his fellow colleague, Senator Lee Bright, trying to attach some data center language
Big
to that
discussion
bill,
about data center,
lengthening that bill's debate for quite some time.
Yeah.
Did not expect that. But it was also interesting what happened off the Senate floor yesterday as well. The Senate Education Committee held their very must-watch hearing with 3 athletic directors from University of South Carolina, Coastal Carolina University, and Clemson University, really quizzing them about their finances, whether public dollars flow into those revenue sharing contracts between the universities and student athletes. All 3 ADs promised, repeatedly vowed, that never has any direct institutional support, so public dollars that the university sends their way have ever flowed into the revenue sharing contracts, nor will they ever flow. But, does that sway a lot of
Sure.
lawmakers? Again, that is a bill that initially did pass the Senate, I think 30-13. I believe those 13 senators who voted against the legislation are still going to find issues with moving forward on this bill. So the bill still likely has support to move off the floor. It is still on the floor. I don't believe it's contested anymore. So it could make its way to the governor's desk very soon. And again, governor hasn't said whether he has not said publicly whether he plans to veto that legislation.
And that's H 4902, which was sponsored by House Majority Leader David Hyatt, and it's kind of zoomed through the State House in a sense. And it's interesting to see this speed bump happening on third reading, because like you said, they kind of give that key second reading vote, which is always the biggest vote. When we talk about first is the introduction, second is the big vote, and then third reading is almost perfunctory, where it kind of goes along the same lines as how the second vote went. But in this situation, we did see a little speed bump here, just like we saw with that abandoned building tax credit situation.
Right.
We saw Senator Lee Bright trying to amend it to prohibit data centers from being able to take advantage of these tax credits. And then you have some folks who are working on data center legislation saying, we want them to take these abandoned buildings, which are typically blight on the community. So interesting to see this, but you think it's going to go now back to the floor and we're going to see a vote soon, is what you're saying?
On the NIL bill?
NIL bill, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we'll see a vote. It will happen today. I'm not quite clear on that. It sounds like they really want to have a very light day in the Senate. It is a Thursday, which is always a light day in the legislature. But, again, 30 people voted, 30 senators voted for this legislation. It's hard to think that this bill isn't going to go anywhere. But again, still remains to be seen what the governor plans to do. The governor has vocalized real concerns about transparency, real concerns about NIL. And again, when you ask the governor or his office what his plans are, they say, well, he's going to thoroughly vet the bill, which is what they always say when a bill comes his way.
Yeah, because you definitely want that assurance. I know that you said these ADs were saying that they were vowing to do this. Of course, everyone can say things, but what happens in private, it's always TBD. So you want to see that maybe written a little bit strengthened in that legislation.
Well, that is one thing that Senator Stubbs mentioned, Everett Stubbs mentioned, that he feels like they need to clearly define revenue sharing contracts in this legislation. Now, of course, any amendments that they do to this this legislation means it's got to go back over to the House. That could complicate things
Throw
as well.
one more thing in the march.
Right, that could
twist.
complicate things. But again, and Senate Majority Leader Shane Massey also mentioned the fact that these 3 ADs are not going to be at their universities forever.
Yeah.
And so what if a future AD at Clemson decides, oh,
well,
no,
yeah.
we'll kind of do a little mix and mingling. It's, again, so I think the 13 who were against it are probably likely still strongly against the legislation moving forward.
Again, it's week 7 too. We're going to jump to the House in a moment. The Senate does come in at 11. But Mayan, we were talking again about the Senate, what they did with that bill dealing with personal income tax, and we've also talked about the homestead tax exemption and just how much this adds on to the demands of the budget and the limited amount of recurring dollars in that budget. I was talking to House Speaker Merle Smith during that long debate yesterday of the Ten Commandments bill. He had time to come over and chit-chat about some things, and we were just talking about how they actually are likely to concur with what the Senate did to that bill with personal income tax, saying that you can't out-tax cut Harvey Peeler, the senator who's the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. So it'll be interesting to see that because, again, that's a huge chunk of money to dedicate, but also it's an election year and people have been talking a lot about tax cuts and affordability. And while what we saw added to that bill because of Senator Lee Bright, he had the backing of Peeler there too, really does take that personal income tax rate down even further, faster than they expected or planned to do. So it's going to be fun to see how that plays out in the House because that bill's now back over there to see if they concur with that.
Right, that, and again, what are the implications on the state budget? I mean, between the property tax bill, between the homestead exemption property tax bill and the income tax bill, we're talking about over $500 million. Over $500 million of spending. And again, this is a year, we've talked about this before, there is a finite amount of recurring annual dollars that is in the budget. So, and the House Ways and Means has already crafted its budget. That is going to the House floor, right, next month. And so what is the Senate going to do? How are they going to peel? Because the House did put some money, a good chunk of money for both, right? But they did not put what the Senate basically has now put forward. So it is, this budget, again, budget is the most, I think, important piece of legislation, right? It is your taxpayer dollars that lawmakers are tackling and spending every year. So it is going to be worth watching because taxes affect you and also the budget affects you.
And worth reading as well. You can check that out at sctv.org/thegavel. I think we're wrapping up here. There's so much more that we could talk about, but it's on the website as well. And we'll have a recap of what happened today as we close out week 7. I'm Gavin Jackson along with Mayan Schechter here at the State House lobby, and we're going to jump over to the House. Have a good day and a great weekend.
All members record your presence. We're in the roll call. If you're in the block building, come on over. Let's get started. All members record your presence. We're in the roll call. Getting ready to get started. All members record your presence. We're fixing to get started. Fixing to get started. We got some teams to introduce and some special introductions. Fixing to close the roll call. I got you on the list. All members record their presence. Fixing to close the roll call. Everybody signed in that wants to sign in. Micah. Getting ready to close the roll call. Gonna close the roll call. Time has expired in the attendance. Clerk will close the polls and tabulate. A quorum is present of 94. House will come to order. House will come to order. Got some announcements. Find your seats. Won't be here long if we get it done. House will come to order. Find your seats. We got some announcements. Got some special people in the balcony. Everybody find your seat. Representative Cody Mitchell is recognized for a special introduction with some help by Representative Yao in the balcony.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Apparently today is Chesterfield County Day at the State House because we've got three wonderful teams. We're going to start out with the 2025 South Carolina High School Strength Coach Association Class A state champions, the McBee High School Lady Panthers. Ladies, thank y'all for standing. Thank y'all for being here. This is their first state title while continuing in the squat, bench press, and standing broad jump. They won the state championship amongst 343 female strength athletes amongst 52 schools. They were coached by head coach Bo Boyle and assistant coach Nita Coleman. Ladies, congratulations. Thank y'all for coming to the State House, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Congratulations, ladies. Welcome to the State House. Congratulations. We'll see you back this time next year. Representative Mitchell is recognized for the second introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, apparently it's something going on at McBee High School last year with state championships. We've got the 2025 Class A state baseball championships, champions. They won on May the 31st of 2025, so they graduated high school and they won the state championship in the same day, defeating Coach Hayes' Lakeview High School Wildcats 2-1. They're coached by Coach Josh Tiller. A lot of senior standouts that I'm not sure if they're with us today or not, but they had an incredible season. Last game that they won, the final game, 8-1, a blowout. So with that, guys, congratulations. Thank y'all for being here, and more importantly, we look forward to seeing you back here again next year. Welcome to the State House.
Congratulations, guys. Job well done. Welcome to the State House. We're glad to have you with us today. Representative Mitchell, you are recognized for your third outstanding group today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, along with Representative Yao, we're here to recognize the Chesterfield 8U Dixie Darlings softball team. They won the state and national championships in 8U. The state championship game, they won 13-8 against Representative Newton's Lancaster team. At the national level, they made it to Louisiana and won the World Series. So we've got 12 young ladies here. I'm going to state their name because winning a national championship is huge. Emerson Owens, McKinley Pearson, Freya Jacobs, Rylan Chavis, Casey Brock, Bristol Smith, Jada Rivers, Everly Adams, Adeline Morton, Abrianna DeVille, Georgia Burr, and Peyton Griggs. Congratulations, ladies. More importantly, we look forward to seeing you next year.
Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations, ladies. Well done. Parents, thank you for your support of these young people as well.
I would also note that apparently one of their biggest fans is up there, Davis Crawford, and apparently he finds our job and day so interesting he's asleep in the balcony. So thanks, Davis. Thanks for being here.
Welcome, Davis. Representative Whitmire Duncan and the President of the Senate has joined us. President Alexander, glad to have you with us. Representative Whitmire, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Very honored to have President Alexander here along with Representative Duncan and myself, the Oconee County delegation, and we're here to honor a distinguished gentleman, James Smith. I'd like to say a little bit about him, please. Today we celebrate the completion of the Highway 76 bridge in Oconee County that was destroyed by Hurricane Helene, and we celebrate the man who helped make it possible. James B. Smith has been a driving force behind getting this bridge rebuilt in record time. He opened his property so heavy equipment and cranes could access the site. He allowed workers to set up campers so they could work longer hours when needed. And he didn't just stand by, he put in countless manual hours himself. For decades, James has shown an unwavering dedication to the well-being and growth of his community. He has quietly served, helped, encouraged, and connected with people across the county. The land beneath this bridge belongs to him, and he's always opened the river to churches for baptisms, a true reflection of his generous spirit. A bridge connects people, and that's exactly what James Smith has done his entire life. With broad support from residents, organizations, and elected officials, it is only fitting that we honor a man who has been and continues to be a true pillar of Oconee County. Congratulations, James.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for all you've done for Oconee County and the state of South Carolina. Congratulations, well deserved. Appreciate you being here today.
And Mr. Speaker, I've just been informed it's also his birthday.
Well, happy birthday. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Mr. Smith. Mr. King is recognized for the next announcement. Mr. King is recognized. I think he has two announcements that he needs to make. House come to order, please. House come to order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My first is I would like to recognize one of my community organizers and business owners from my district, Jonathan Nazir. If you would stand and just be recognized, thank you for being here. He is here today asking for our support on House Bill 4164, which is Community Development Tax Credit. Thank you for being here.
Welcome to the State House. Glad to have you here with us today. Mr. King, you're recognized for your second introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many of you all have asked about our colleague, Representative Tiffany Spain Wilder.
Hold on, Mr. King. They need to hear this. Hold on. And I'm going to ask everybody, if you got a conversation, take it outside. This is an update on one of our colleagues, and y'all want to hear this, okay? So let's hear it from Mr. King.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many of you all have asked about Representative Spain Wilder. She contacted myself and Representative Grant this morning. First, she said she wanted to say thank you for your prayers and phone calls of the ones who may have reached out to her husband while she was in surgery. Surgery went well. She's resting. She had some shortness of breath a few days ago. She's doing really good, and she just wanted to say she's looking forward to being back with us, and she would like for you all to continue to keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
Thank you, Mr. King, for that. Let's stand in a moment of continued silence prayer for our colleague, Ms. Span Wilder, and her continued recovery and the good report that we received today. Let's pray. Amen. Thank you, Mr. King. Mr. Huff is recognized for a special introduction. Mr. Huff, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my distinct honor this morning to have my first family member joining me here on the floor. I've enjoyed my time here to get to know everybody, but today I have my sister, Dr. Carrie McCain, here with me. She is, she's got the brains out of the outfit, as you guys have already seen from me. But she is the assistant principal at Malden Middle School. For those Greenville County folks, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to her. She is currently on her way to Myrtle Beach, where she will be named a regional director for the South Carolina Association of Middle Level Educators, which is a national organization. And so she'll be over multiple counties up there in the upstate and trying to help us improve middle school level education and so forth. And so I'm quite proud of all that she's doing. We'll be down at Myrtle Beach tomorrow to watch her be awarded that. And so if everybody would give her a warm welcome for being here today.
Welcome to the State House. We're glad to have you. Thank you for what you do for our young people.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Huff.
Speaker. Also, I have Daniel Gamble, who is one of our precinct managers there in Greenville County. He does great work for the elections and so forth there. And so we always love to see Daniel down here when he sees all the hard work. He's a great supporter of all of us and what we do. Daniel's up there in the balcony.
Hey, Daniel, glad to have you with us today. Mr. Huff, you're recognized one more time.
April, come on up real quick if you want to. And Representative Cromer and I would like to encourage everyone to help us wish one of our esteemed colleagues a happy birthday. Lee Gilreath's birthday will be tomorrow. So if everybody could help us wish him a happy birthday, we'd appreciate that as well. Thank y'all so much.
He's already started celebrating. He's not here today. Right. Mr. Grant has an introduction. Mr. Grant, you're recognized. House, come to order. We got a few more of these to go. You're recognized, Mr. Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm joined by several of my fraternity brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We've got Brother Representative Robert Reese, Brother Jerry Govan, Brother John King, Brother Lonnie Hosey, Mr. Bill Clyburn probably will join us as well, and anyone from the, there he is, Brother Bill Clyburn, thank you, I didn't see you, as well as some members of the Richland County delegation. But today in the balcony, we are recognizing a very special gentleman, and so we rise to honor a great South Carolinian for his outstanding leadership and service to the people of this great state. For more than 20 years, Mr. Nathaniel Barber has demonstrated what responsible leadership in finance and community development truly looks like. As Chief Executive Officer of the South Carolina Community Loan Fund, he has helped expand access to capital for small businesses, affordable housing developments, and underserved communities across this state. Under his leadership, the Community Loan Fund has grown in both impact and reach, and his work has helped catalyze investments through the Community Reinvestment Act and strengthen partnerships between public, private, and philanthropic sectors. Most notably, his leadership contributed to securing a historic federal support through the New Market Tax Credit Program, including a $50 million allocation in 2023, and most recently a $75 million allocation, which was the largest allocation in the organization's history. Beyond the numbers, Mr. Barber's impact created jobs, revitalized neighborhoods, and provided families with new opportunities through his work. His impact reflects a commitment to the economic opportunity, responsible investment, and long-term resilience in this state. And Mr. Barber, we are recognizing him today not only for his years of service, but he has actually decided to retire for the second time. And so we want to thank him for all that he has done for opening doors across our community and giving us the opportunity and ability to have access to capital so we can do all the great things in the state of South Carolina that we know are possible. Thank you so very much for all of your work and for what you mean to us as a brother and from personal relationships as well. In the balcony, we also have his family and supporters, and so I'll ask them to stand as well. Come on, some family supporters, stand as well. Thank you. Let's give them a big warm welcome to the South Carolina State House.
Welcome to the State House. Thank you for your service for all these years. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Chair Lady Erickson and Mr. McCravey are recognized, and anyone else is coming with them. House will come to order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today Palmetto State Teachers Association Board and their Emerging Leaders Institute members. If they would stand, please. This group are classroom educators and leaders in our public schools. PSTA is the largest professional association for educators in our state, and they provide service opportunities, leadership opportunities, and personal growth and development, as well as the professional development for the folks that are with them. Thank you to the board and our emerging leaders. We appreciate you being with us today and everything you do every other day.
Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for what you do for us. We appreciate it very much. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. McCravey is recognized.
As a part of this group today, we also have our outstanding Ware Shoals School District 51 Teachers of the Year with us, and we're proud to welcome them today. This is Miss Lachey Winbush, who teaches 7th grade, Mr. Blake Bishop, 9th and 10th grade, and Dr. Tony Shearer, 10th grade. We thank you and recognize you for educating our children, and we appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Congratulations on those nice honors. Thank you for working with our young people. Appreciate it very much. Mr. Lowe is recognized for the next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the Florence District 1 teachers stand up, please? Look at that big class of them. These teachers are the Teachers of the Year for Florence District 1 schools. We're so happy to have them up there. These people have worked hard for what they've done, and we're so proud of them. Superintendent O'Malley, wave your hand. You up there? There he is. He's standing with them. Good. How about Hood Temple? Hood puts this together, and y'all do a great job. I mean, these are the people that told us to read and write, right? They told me to write. I wrote, "I must not talk in class," thousands of times. So if anything I can do to get y'all back, I will. Thank you. Thanks for coming here. Y'all give them a big hand.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. You might want to reconsider how well you did with Mr. Lowe, but congratulations. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's getting worse. Mr. Hartz is recognized. Mr. Hartz is recognized. I'm sorry. Ms. Hartz recognized a special group of people in the balcony.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Aiken delegation would like to welcome the USCA students from School of Nursing. Please stand up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing that worthwhile profession. And they are here to put emphasis on workplace violence because it happens in their future workplace. So thanks for being here. Please help me give them a warm house welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate what y'all are doing, what you're training to do. We look forward to what you're going to do in the future. Mr. Gillum is recognized for the next couple of introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to remind everybody on the floor that South Carolina Virtual Charter School has set up classrooms in 424 on the 4th floor of the block building. And if you get a chance, stop by, stick your head in there, and watch a little bit of what they're doing. It surprised me to see what they do, and they do good. So just try to visit them, 424. They'll be here to about 1:30 or so today when we get out. If you want to go by there, please check them out and welcome them to the State House. And one great thing that I get to do today, too, if our nursing students from USC Union, will you stand up? I love you all, but Union is where I live and where I represent. I'm glad y'all are here, and I'm glad y'all come to visit me today, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that very much. Mr. Rivers, I believe you have Black History Month today. So I was told. If not, we'll find out who does have it. Mr. Rivers, you're recognized. Anyone wishing to join Mr. Rivers, please make your way up here. Mr. Rivers, you're recognized whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, as they file in. Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Today is about Robert Smalls. And make sure I get my stuff together. Robert Smalls, a Beaufort County native. Robert Smalls, his accomplishments are celebrated by many. By some because connection to his past allows African Americans the opportunity to celebrate the determination of those who came before us and whose backs we are standing on, allowing us to have an opportunity to do the same for the next generation. Likewise, because the Honorable Mr. Robert Smalls who was a prominent Republican when most African Americans were Republicans, and he was the key founder of the Republican Party in our state, many current-day Republicans, not all, celebrate Brother Robert Smalls as an opportunity to pretend to be appreciative of the accomplishments, intelligence, courage, and contributions of Robert Smalls, at the same time when some current-day Republicans fervently attack diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yes, he served as a South Carolina state legislator and as a U.S. congressman during Reconstruction. He was formerly an enslaved man who became a Civil War hero, advocating for civil rights and public education. Again, he was the key founder of the Republican Party in South Carolina. Wow, how times have changed. He represented South Carolina in the U.S. House of Representatives for 5 consecutive terms between 1875 and 1887. Before Congress, he served here in the South Carolina House from 1868 to 1870 and the Senate from 1870 to 1874. He fought against black disenfranchisement and helped establish our state's first free compulsory public school system during a period when former enslaved people and poor white folks did not have an equal access to education. His advocacy for public education awakened and stimulated the possible opportunities for many. Ironically, in this season, there is a climate that promotes selective delivery of education where access to books, access to information depends on the permission of the majority, irregardless of the consequences to young people who must compete globally. Robert Smalls was for learning more, not less. The more you know allows one to be in a better position to compete. Yes, as a former slave, without access to education, he outsmarted those who were supposedly better educated and then became an advocate who was committed to ensuring that public education was available to everyone in South Carolina. As we reminisce, celebrate, and assimilate with the legacy of the Honorable Robert Smalls, let us remember his commitment to liberty and justice for all. Since Reconstruction to the present time, there have only been 2 African Americans from Beaufort County that has had the honor and privilege of serving in the South Carolina House of Representatives. Representative W.P. Lloyd, my friend and mentor, was from Carlson County, as well as my friend and mentor, Representative Reverend Kenneth Hodges. The 2 African Americans that has had the opportunity to represent all citizens of Beaufort County since Reconstruction to now is the Honorable Robert Smalls, and yours truly, your friend and fighter for freedom and justice for all, Representative Michael Rivers. To God be the glory for all that he's done, is doing, and will do. Let us always remember, but also never forget, or we risk repeating the past. Thank you for Brother Smalls, for your life, and for inspiring us all to be better and triumph in life, irregardless of the perceived obstacles. And Madam Chairman, finish this off, baby.
Representative McDaniel is recognized to finish it up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to extend a thank you to each and every one of you who have stood with us during the month of February, which has been designated Black History Month. And you've actually listened to a lot of the readings and a lot of the presentations that we have done recognizing African Americans who have done great things, not just in South Carolina, but throughout the United States. So as we close out, we would like for you to know that Black History Month impacts each and every one of us. So on this last day, the House has met in Black History Month, during Black History Month. We thought it would be good to invite every one of you and any one of you who feels comfortable to join us at the front. We all appreciate the many men and women from the Black community that have meant so much and contributed a great deal to our state and to our nation. So again, if you have any Blacks in your district and you feel comfortable, please come up as we close out this month with unity and love. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank Representative Paul here for coming to me and saying that, especially in light of what happened last night with all of the emotions that was exhibited, that we want the people who are watching us to know that when we deliberate here and we debate on bills, and sometimes we get very, very passionate, that it is never personal. And we want them to know that there are never permanent friends nor permanent enemies, but permanent issues. So in closing out this Black History Month, you see what democracy look like. All right. Give ourselves a hand.
Thank you, Ms. McDaniel. Now, I've been here quite a while, and I've always felt comfortable around any person that's in this chamber, and there's never, we may disagree, but we always, and when we walk away from here, we're friends, and so I can appreciate that from each and every person. So thank all of y'all.
Good job, Annie.
House come to order. We got a few more introductions. I believe Cody Mitchell's had somebody, he must have brought everybody he knew with him today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hold on, Mr. Mitchell. House will come to order. We still got some work to do. We got some work to do.
It won't take long. They up there.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what they say.
House will come to order. We still got a couple of more introductions.
I talk real slow.
Representative Mitchell, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm joined by the other members of the Kershaw County Legislative Delegation. Up in the balcony, we have a group that comes and joins us every year. If y'all would please stand. We've got junior leadership of Kershaw County. This is a cooperative partnership in between the Kershaw County Chamber of Commerce and the Kershaw County School District. This fine group is made up of majority seniors, but juniors and seniors of all 3 of our county high schools, and they are in a year-long program dealing with different aspects of leadership. They come to see us, visit us in Columbia. We were able to visit with them earlier. Of course, great questions as always about what's the difference in between Republicans and Democrats in here. And as Representative McDaniel just said, you know, I let them know, even though we may fight and squabble on TV a little bit, we're all friends at the end, which is what we're always supposed to be. So guys, thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for everything you do. Good luck in the future, and welcome to the South Carolina State House.
Welcome to the State House. Appreciate y'all being here today. We appreciate y'all being here. Ms. Calhoun, I think you're recognized for a special introduction. Let's give Ms. Calhoun your attention. She's got a special introduction sitting at her desk.
You know, when we come to this podium and get to introduce people, it's a special event for them. And today, Jacob, would you stand, please? This is Jacob Merrill. His aunt, and he's visiting with her today, is Deborah DePauli, and he just came over and he offered me a challenge. He gave me a challenge coin, and he wrote me a thank you note. So welcome to the South Carolina House of Representatives.
Welcome, Jacob. Looking sharp with that bow tie on, looking good. We got some around here that don't know how to wear the bow tie the right way. Ms. Cobb Hunter, your group here yet? Any other announcements? We got one more we're waiting on. They're coming in the door now. Any more announcements before we get this last announcement? Anybody got anybody that wanted to? Representative Gil Reith, you missed your birthday greetings. Happy birthday. Any other announcements? We're going to stand at ease till this group gets here. They're coming in here in just a minute. They're trying to make their way through security. We'll stand at ease till they get here. House will come back to order. We're going to read while we're waiting on them, but we got a good bit of stuff to read. Clerk will read.
Committee reports. Education Public Works favorable with Amendment 5073, Petalino and others.
Committee report.
Education favorable with Amendment 4468, Erickson.
Committee report.
House Resolution Burns issuing Armed Forces expenditure of exceptionary medals.
Invitations.
Michoud Guenon expressing sorrow for the passage of Dr. Bill Manning.
Representative Gagnon asked the unanimous consent to add her of the House. To hear any objection? So ordered.
Colonel Ligon declaring Wednesday, April 15th as STO Programs Day.
Mr. Ligon asks unanimous consent to add her of the House. Hear any objection? Hearing none.
Excuse me, Mr. Representative Lastinger honoring Chaplain Colonel Brian L. Bowman.
Representative Lasker asks unanimous consent to add her of the House. Hear any objection? Hear none.
Representative King honoring Reverend Walter Banks White. Didn't ask for roll, so no roll. Adopted.
Adopted.
Mr. Bowers declaring Tuesday, March 3rd as Clemson Day. It's over.
Mr. Bowers asked unanimous consent to add a roll of the House. I hear any objection? So noted.
Ms. Cobb Hunter, April 28th, Workers' Memorial Day.
Ms. Cobb Hunter asked unanimous consent to add the roll of the House. I hear any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Representative Long, domicile tuition rates.
Ways and Means.
Long, new introduction, public benefit application and ramifications.
Ways and Means.
Long, application for public aid and certain public assistances.
Ways and Means.
Representative Long, financial institution requirements of citizenship.
LCI.
Representative Long, 2% restrictions on visa holders.
Ways and Means.
Representative Long, languages other than English.
Judiciary.
Long, unlawful entry into the United States by illegal aliens.
Judiciary.
Long, application for vehicle licensing and registration.
Education, Public Works.
Long, state and government expenditures in certain fiscal matters.
Ways and Means.
Long, voter registration regulation.
Judiciary.
Long, penalties for private employers violating certain requirements.
LCI.
Long, prohibitions of municipalities from using federal funds.
Judiciary.
Britton, Wetmore, Oremus, and others, alcoholic beverage catering licenses.
Judiciary.
Gary Brewer, solar agricultural farmlands.
Hold that one. Hold that one. Hold that one.
Reese, a new bill adding Chapter 44 to Title 58, utility billing.
LCI.
Reese, Public Service Commission.
LCI.
Monsieur Ganon, performance of duties of registers of deeds.
Abbeville Delegation.
Mr. Sessions and a plethora of others, Medicaid fraud.
Judiciary.
Long, and many others, governmental prohibitions, municipality incentives, and financial disclosures.
Ways and Means.
Ms. Bernstein, Department of Motor Vehicles special license plates.
Education, Public Works.
J.E. Johnson, cargo theft offenses, penalties, and increasing.
Judiciary.
We have a Senate introduction of Senate Bill 70 by Senator Hembry enhancing local government's ability in schools.
Education, Public Works.
Senate 420, certain investment retirement incentives.
Ways and Means.
Senate 723, penalties, minimum penalties and maximum penalties.
Judiciary.
Senate 853, dealing with conforming to eligibility for certain credit applications.
Ways and means.
Except for the one you said to hold, you're good. Hold it next Tuesday. Hold it if you got it.
You need me? Miss Cobb. Ms. Cobb Hunter, you ready? House come to order, got one more special introduction. House come to order, got one more group that made their way into the balcony. Ms. Cobb Hunter, you are recognized to introduce your group.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker and members, anybody from the Orangeburg and any folk with ties to South Carolina State and Claflin and OC Tech and all of those places. Oh, give me a minute to catch my breath, Mr. Speaker. I'm out of shape. So, Mr. Speaker and members, I am so thrilled to stand here this morning along with my colleagues to represent, and before I say that, Mr. Speaker, let me thank you and the desk staff for reading slowly. For those of you who have come up to make your introductions, for doing it slowly, to give our group from Orangeburg County School District a chance to get here. Mr. Speaker and members, I am just honored to stand here and share with you a group of about 50 to 60 students and parents from Orangeburg County School District. These students, Mr. Speaker, are special ambassadors, if you will. Mr. Speaker, could I get a little order over here to my left?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, House come to order. Mr. Hickson. Come to order. You can have a conversation, take it outside. Ms. Cobb Hunter, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank Chairman Hickson for showing our young people how not to act in school. He's a friend, so he knows I mess with him like this all the time. So for those of you who saying, ooh, he's used to it coming from me. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, I know all of us are ready to go. And so I'm going to just ask if all of these young people Mr. Speaker, and members, they work with our superintendent. And I'm thrilled to introduce you to Dr. Sean Foster, who is the superintendent of Orangeburg County School District. Dr. Foster has been recognized as Superintendent of the Year. He has also been recognized locally by our local newspaper, the Times and Democrat, as a Person of the Year. And his vision, Mr. Speaker, and that of his board members are really paying off in Orangeburg County. These young people work with the superintendent. They give him advice. You know, we all want to hear from the parents, and in this environment, we hear a lot about the parents. What about the parents? I'm pleased to say in Orangeburg County, we care about the parents, but we are also very much interested in hearing student voices. And so these young people are part of the conversation on a regular basis with Dr. Foster and his team. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, and for those of you who are from Chaston, we are also joined by Dr. Erica Prelude-Taylor, who is over communications, and Ms. Courtney Young, who is helping us with this. But Mr. Speaker, I'm just bursting with pride because we are doing it in Orangeburg County, and we're doing it because of the leadership of the people I just talked to, but most importantly, Mr. Speaker, because of these young men and women who recognize that this is an opportunity for them to spread their wings. I appreciate the exposure to all of this different stuff and environment. And Mr. Speaker, let me not take advantage of your kindness, nor that of my colleagues. Like the old folks say, I don't want to tear the rag off the bush by continuing to talk. So I'm going to ask all of them if they would just stand and be recognized and enjoy the rest of your day here at our beautiful state capitol. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome to the State House. Proud of you young people. Leaders, thank y'all for what y'all do to help them get to where they need to be. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
you very
y'all.
much. Enjoy the rest of your day here. We know we hurried you up a little bit, but thank you for getting over here. Got the doctor of the day. Then we'll get on the calendar. Doctor of the day, everybody. Hold on, Mr. Whitmire. Let me get doctor of the day. Let's, Mr. Whitmire, Mr. Duncan, have the doctor of the day. Mr. Whitmire, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Duncan and I are very pleased to welcome Dr. Jennifer Hankey, Oconee County Family Medicine. So thank you for coming down to Columbia and taking care of us. Thank you, Dr. Hankey.
Thank you, Doc. We appreciate you giving of your time for us today. We appreciate that very much. Thank you. We're on the calendar, page 5. We're on the calendar. Second reading, statewide uncontested bills. Clerk will read.
First bill is Weston Newton, judiciary favorable. With amendment number 1,
House Bill 3530, Mr. Weston Newton moves to adjourn debate. All in favor say aye.
simple, Weston.
All opposed, no. We adjourn debate. Clerk will read.
We have Representative Gatch, 3227 LCI favorable. With amendment number 1, the committee report, which they have.
Mr. Weston Newton moves to adjourn debate on House Bill 3237. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Adjourn debate. Next bill is House Bill 5179. Clerk will read.
Erickson, McGinnis, and others.
Mr. Newton moves 24-hour point. Point is sustained.
Weston Newton, 24.
House Bill 4151. Clerk will read.
4151, Weston Newton, juvenile justice.
Mr. Newton moves to 24-hour. House Bill 4151. Point is sustained. 24. House Bill 4763. Clerk will read.
4763, Oremus and many others. Judiciary favorable.
Mr. Newton moves again for 24-hour on 4763. Point is sustained.
24.
House Bill 5120 on page 8. Clerk will read.
5120, Mr. Cox. Judiciary favorable is his.
Mr. Newton moves to 24-hour 51. House Bill 5120. Point is sustained. House Bill 5121. Clerk will read.
Cox, Garvin, and others. Judiciary favorable as is.
Mr. Newton once again moves to 24-hour. House Bill 5121. Point is sustained, bringing us to House Bill 5261. Clerk will read.
5261, Weston Newton, without reference.
Mr. Newton is recognized to speak on 5261, and this is the bill that we allowed to go without reference yesterday, so you may want to listen up, okay? Representative Newton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know Mr. Kilmartin and Mr. Moore also had joined us at the podium yesterday, and I know Mr. McGinnis, folks in the restaurant and hospitality business in this chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, as we discussed last night, this is a joint resolution to extend the deadline for receiving alcohol server training as provided in Chapter 3, Title 61, the liquor liability reform that we passed last year, to May 1, 2026.
Mr. Kirby, you want to take questions, Mr. Newton? Sure. Mr. Kirby's recognized for the first question.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Newton. Just a clarification question. How are the restaurant and bar owners being communicated with in terms of getting this information so they know what to do, where to do, and that type thing?
Mr. Kirby, obviously, when the legislation passed last year, and the General Assembly and the governor signed it into law, it became the law, and I don't know exactly how restaurateurs may or may not have been made aware of that, whether they're trade organizations, whether or not. Obviously, DOR had some issues in standing up the training program in the time frame that was contemplated that it would happen. The short answer to your question is I have confirmed this morning with DOR they have a capability to blast email. And, they have, heretofore, they have indicated that the deadline is May 2nd. But obviously, their capabilities for online training were not sufficient to provide an opportunity for our bars and restaurants and hospitality folks to be able to avail themselves of that training prior to the deadline. So this is an effort to push that deadline out to give them folks the opportunity to be trained so they won't be in violation of the law, but also in order for the insurance companies to respond that everybody in the business has been trained. Is that how we came up with that time frame and that aperture?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I guess we've been contacted by a couple of our local guys who said they had no idea about it. So I'm glad to hear that there is a mechanism in place for proper communication.
So as soon as we hopefully do this today, we will ask for third reading tomorrow. We're going to ask DOR to communicate by blast email that the House has done this, that it goes to the Senate next week, and that hopefully by next Friday, the governor will have signed this, and that this extension will be in place, and that DOR is communicating with all licensees.
Thank you, and thank you for your good work on this, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, you're recognized for the next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Newton, I think you kind of answered some of the questions based on what Kirby had asked you, but a simple question. Who set the date in terms for the extension? You know, we're going to extend it out in May. Who came up with the date for that?
We did. This body last night in passing the May 1 date. If you saw Senator Massey and Senator Johnson were over here yesterday afternoon, I met with Senator Rankin in discussing this problem, understanding where we were, the capabilities that existed. We did talk about a longer time frame. The problem with extending to a longer time frame for compliance is the insurance companies are not responding. So if we put this out for 6 months, then it's unlikely that the folks that we were trying to help get lower insurance costs will be helped. So it was the consensus of discussion yesterday that 60 days is an ample opportunity for DOR and their capabilities to afford training opportunities for everybody involved.
Okay, that sounds good, because my issue with that is to make sure that we have enough time to make sure it happens. Don't set the time frame so far up or so far back where it cannot happen, and we're in the same shape where we got to extend it again down the road.
And Mr. Williams, obviously this is moving fast, and we're trying to do it to provide relief as fast as we can to all of the restaurants and bars so that they won't be in violation of the law and the training requirements. It may be between now and Tuesday when it goes across the hall that there may be some revelation that we have not comprehended at this point, that it should be 90 days instead of 60. But the agreement that we had yesterday with the Senate was that it would be 60 days. So if there is a need to extend it, then the Senate certainly could do that next week, and it doesn't slow down the train. And then we would come back and concur.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. King's recognized for the next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Two questions. You mentioned, he asked a question. I was concerned about the date. You were saying that the insurance companies are not responding. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, one of the comments that's made in the overall discussion of this, the law says that everybody that's serving alcohol is required to be trained. And when that happens, then there are certain discounts that you're entitled to get off the premiums. The word that has come back through the Department of Insurance is that the insurance companies are not offering essentially any reduction in premiums or discounts yet, because everybody has not been trained as required by the law. Okay. And so they're not responding yet to that. That's the concern why if we put it out too far, then people aren't going to get the benefit of the legislation, which was to drive their insurance premiums down.
And if we find that the date that we have put into this resolution does not give enough time, is there a mechanism that you all can use if we're not in session in the resolution, that you and the others from the Senate would meet to come up with an additional date, so that if we're not in session, so that we're not putting restaurants in a dilemma?
So, Mr. King, part of the other reason that date was May 1 instead of June 1 is so that we'd still be here. if we get coming up to that date, we'd still be here and be able to address it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Seeing no further questions, the question is passage of House Bill 5261. Roll call is required in order, voting on the board. I'll do it. All members voted that wish to vote. All members voted. All members voted. Any objection to cutting the roll call short? So noted. Got a few more seconds. Now, is there any objection to cutting the roll call short? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will close the polls and tabulate by a vote of 98-0. House Bill 5261 gets second reading. Representative Newton requests to give the bill third reading tomorrow. Is there any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Mr. Cal Forrest moved it with the House to now adjourn to meet Tuesday. Mr. Forrest holds his adjourn motion so that Ms. McDaniel can make you're standing between us and going home, Ms. McDaniel. So
Yes,
make
sir.
it quick.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We just want to let everyone know that on Tuesday, March the 2nd, that is Delta Day at the state capitol. All of you have Deltas, I'm sure, in your district. That's the red and white day. So if you want to show them some love, we ask that you wear some red and white, and that'll be Tuesday, and we appreciate you coming, and they'll be in the block building if you want to come by and say hello.
I'll let you do it. Representative Kirby. President Kirby is recognized. Last announcement. House come to order.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to make everyone aware, if you haven't been made aware, that Reverend Jesse Jackson will be laying in state here at the State House on March the 2nd. Details will be forthcoming. If you can follow that, I think all social media will be covering it. But if you want to have an opportunity to come express your condolences to the family, please put that on your calendar. It'll be a unique opportunity for all of South Carolina. Okay, I've got it. Thank you. I was just given some additional information. Monday, March 2nd at 9 a.m., Levy's Funeral Home processional to the State House will occur. And from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the State House will be open to the public. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., a memorial service at Brooklyn Baptist Church at 1066 Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. That is also open to the public. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. One final announcement. Next Wednesday is Suit and Sneakers Day. American Cancer Society, you folks that haven't been a part of that, wear your suit and your sneakers, your tennis shoes. It's always a good day to have some comfortable shoes on. Ms. Cromer, do you have an adjourn in memory of? Yes, ma'am. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I request that we adjourn in memory of Henry M. Stanley, Jr. He was 89 when he passed away of Piedmont, South Carolina. He passed away peacefully in his home, surrounded by family and loved ones. He was born August 25, 1936 in Sinking Springs, Ohio. Henry lived a life defined by hard work, integrity, leadership, and generosity. Henry began his career in the auto auction industry in 1960 as a ringman at Capital Auto Auction in Columbus, Ohio, while working alongside his father at Stanley & Sons Auction Services. In 1969, he left Stanley & Son in the hands of his father and son to purchase Capital Auto Auction, renaming it Ohio Auto Auction. After selling the auction in 1987, Henry retired briefly before returning to the industry he loved. In '89, he and the love of his wife, Patty, purchased Fort Knox Auto Auction, renaming it Carolina Auto Auction, which grew under his leadership into one of the largest independently owned auto auctions in the Southeast. A respected industry trailblazer, Henry served as president of the National Auto Auction Association, received the Pioneer Award, and was inducted into the NAAA Hall of Fame. Known for his fierce competitive spirit, Henry always pushed himself to those around him to be better, famously saying, "Coming in second is like kissing your sister." His family believed that he firmly believed that your word is your bond and lived by principle throughout his whole life. Henry loved spending time with his family, especially boating with his grandchildren, traveling with Patty while watching wildlife at their Colorado home, golfing and cheering on the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was known for his generosity, kindness, and unmistakable presence. He is survived by his lovely wife, Patty, and his son, Eric Ottenreith, and his son, Henry Stanley. He leaves behind daughters-in-laws and many grandchildren. I appreciate giving me this, and I request the remarks be in the journal. Thank you.
We'll need you to submit those in writing to the clerk, please, before you leave today. Ms. Cromer moves that when we adjourn today, we adjourn in the memory of Henry Stanley, correct? Junior. All in favor say aye. So ordered. Make sure you get your notes to Mr. Clerk before you leave today, if you don't mind. Yeah. Any other announcements before we adjourn? Thank you. Mr. Forrest moves that we now adjourn until Tuesday at noon. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
Senator from Spartanburg, Senator Bright.
I move to carry over.
Motion is to carry over H 3974. All in favor would say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We now go to page 22 on the calendar. Page 22, S694 in the middle of the calendar of the page, by the senator from Aiken. Reading clerk will please read. Senator from Charleston, Senator Campson, what purpose do you have?
Move to carry over.
Motion is to carry over S694. All those in favor would say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill's carried over. We go to page 23, H 3556. Amendment. Have a committee.
The Judiciary Committee proposes the following amendment. Amends the bill. Section 1, strike Section 7, 17560, subsection C. Subsection C, appeals from decisions by the State Executive Committee must be taken directly to the Supreme Court.
Senator from Charleston, Senator Campson. What purpose do you rise?
Move to carry over.
Motion is to carry over H 3556. All those in favor would say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So ordered. We'll go to page 24, toward the top of the page, H 3557. Senator from Charleston, Senator Campson, what purpose do you rise?
Move to carry over.
Motion is to carry over the bill. All those in favor would please say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The bill's carried over. We now go to page 25, middle of the page. S 343 by the senator from Greenville, Senator Corbin, and others. We have a committee. Senator from Greenville, Senator Corbin. What purpose do you rise, sir?
Move to carry over.
Motion is to carry over S 343. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is carried over. Further on page 25, H 4342. Reading clerk will read.
This bill is relating to the requirements for restricted instructor's licenses issued by the Board of Dentistry so as to remove limitations on certain credentialing requirements.
Senator from Beaufort, what purpose do you rise, sir?
To explain the bill and the committee amendment.
There's no committee amendment.
I'll move to carry over.
We're going to stand at ease momentarily. Senate is back in order. We do have the committee amendment. Senator from Beaufort, what purpose do you rise, sir?
Explain both the committee amendment and the underlying bill.
You're recognized on the bill with the committee amendment. Senator from Beaufort.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I'm going to start by explaining the underlying bill, and that will then provide the context for the committee amendment. The underlying bill addresses the portion of the code that talks about a licensing process for dental educators. And currently, under the code, there is a requirement that an individual who wants to have that restricted instructor's license for dentistry have completed 2 years of a program leading to a Doctor of Dental Surgery degree, at least 2-year commission on dental accreditation approved advanced education programs in a dental specialty, or has successfully completed at least a 2-year CODA-approved advanced education program. This would allow an alternate way under that criteria. Those 3 things could be waived if the Board of Dentistry finds that the applicant is a full-time academic faculty appointment at the rank of assistant professor or greater in a dental school in this state. So in other words, in addition to those particular credentialing requirements that I just recited to you, if you are an instructor, if you're a professor in a dental school, that can discharge and satisfy those particular requirements to be an instructor. So that's the underlying bill. The amendment is similar in that it talks about the licensing criteria to be an instructor in veterinary medicine or a veterinary school. And it sets forth the criteria to qualify for that license. The applicant must be a faculty member at an American Veterinary Medical Association accredited veterinary school in the state and meet one of the following: hold a valid veterinary license in another U.S. state or territory, or be a graduate of an AMVA accredited college, or possess a DMV from a board-approved institution. So it provides additional criteria by which someone can be authorized to be an instructor in a veterinary school. And that's the committee amendment. So, Mr. President, first I would move for adoption of the committee amendment, which would allow that restricted license in regard to veterinary instruction to be added to the bill.
Motion is to adopt the committee amendment. All those in favor would please say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to by the Senate.
So, members, what we have before us now with H 4342 as amended is an alternate way by which someone can be qualified to be a restricted license for dental instruction, to include being a professor, being a qualifying criteria. And also it includes what I just explained in the committee amendment regarding an instructor at a veterinary school.
Pending question. Second reading of H 4342 on page 25 of the calendar. Roll call is required. Ask the clerk to ring the bell. Roll call has been ordered on H 4342. The reading clerk for second reading will call the roll of the Senate.
Mr. Adams? Aye. Mr. Alexander? Aye. Mr. Allen? Not voting, Mr. Bennett? Aye. Mr. Blackman? Aye. Mr. Bright? Not voting, Mr. Campson? Aye. Mr. Cash? Mr. Cash votes aye. Mr. Chaplin? Aye. Mr. Clymer? Not voting, Mr. Corbin? Mr. Corbin votes aye. Mr. Cromer? Not voting, Mr. Davis? Aye. Mrs. Devine? Aye. Mr. Elliott? Aye. Mr. Fernandez has leave. Mr. Gambrell has leave. Mr. Garrett? Aye. Mr. Goldfinch has leave. Mr. Graham votes aye. Mr. Grooms? Mr. Grooms votes aye. Mr. Hembry? Aye. Mr. Hutto? Aye. Mr. Jackson? Aye. Mr. Johnson? Aye. Mr. Kennedy? Aye. Mr. Kimbrell? Aye. Mr. Lieber? Aye. Mr. Martin? Aye. Mr. Massey? Aye. Mrs. Matthews? Aye. Mr. Ott? Not voting, Mr. Peeler? Aye. Mr. Rankin? Aye. Mr. Rickenbaugh? Aye. Mr. Rice? Aye. Mr. Sabb votes aye. Mr. Stubbs? Aye. Mr. Sutton? Aye. Mr. Tedder? Mr. Tedder not voting? Mr. Turner? Aye. Mr. Verdon has leave. Mr. Walker votes aye. Mr. Williams? Aye. Mr. Young? Aye. Mr. Zell? Aye.
Of all senators voted, Senator Cromer votes aye. Senator Bright votes aye. Senator from Kershaw, what purpose do you ask, sir? Senator Tedder?
Also, yes, sir. Senator Tedder.
Senator Tedder has leave without objection. Senator Allen votes aye.
Also, leave for Senator Ott.
Is there objection to Senator Ott having leave? Hearing no objection, so ordered. He also has leave. Further members wishing to record your vote on second reading of H 4342, final call. The polls are closed. The clerk will please tabulate. By a vote of 39 to 0, H 4342 receives the second reading of the Senate. Senator from Florence, what purpose do you rise, sir?
This is an introduction.
You're recognized for the purposes of an introduction. Senator from Florence.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is a distinct honor and a pleasure now for the 4th year since I've been in the Senate and the 24th year total that we have the teachers and the administrator from Florence One Schools here with us today, brought here by Hood Temple, who again, for almost a quarter of a century, has been bringing the Florence One Schools. Yeah, a long time. He's old is what that means right here. But myself, along with the other senators from Florence County, I want to briefly introduce them and have you stand up as I talk about, as I mention you. We've got Ms. Davis from Briggs Elementary School. We got Ms. Peer from Brockington Elementary, Ms. Cox from Carver Elementary, Ms. Sparkman from Del May Elementary, Ms. Paget from Dewey Carter, Ms. McWarren from Greenwood Elementary, Ms. Dawkins from Lester Elementary, Ms. Poston from Lucy T. Davis, Ms. Church from McLaurin Elementary, Ms. Coleman Ocampo from North Vista, Ms. Johnson from Royal Elementary, Ms. Singletary from Savannah Grove, Ms. Muldrow from Timrod Elementary, Ms. Soner from Wallace Gregg, Ms. Williamson from Moore Middle, Ms. Holder from Sneed Middle, Mr. Cribb from Southside Middle, Mr. Sved from Williams Middle. A few more to go. Ms. McCrae from South Florence, Mr. Shamblin from West Florence, and Ms. Nelson from Wilson High School. Also with us are Ms. Wyndham from the Child Development Center at Woods Road, Ms. Des Marius from R.N. Beck Learning Center, Ms. Timmons Purdue from Advantage Academy, Ms. Sweat from Alfred Rush Academy, and Mr. Bunn from Adult Education. These are the 2025-2026 Teachers of the Year, but I wanted to just say a brief moment. Thank you for that.
Welcome to the Senate.
Well, and the applause is fantastic for being the Teachers of the Year, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say that how you arrive with that in the district of which what is Florence One Schools. Many don't realize that our percentage of Title I students is one of the highest in the state. We have one of the highest numbers of homeless students, with several hundred of them. We make bricks without straw in many cases when you look at what we work with there. Yet for 3 years in a row, we have had one of Palmetto's finest, and we now have opportunity for the 4th year in a row. I'm not aware of any district in the state that for 3 years in a row has had one of Palmetto's finest. And you do it with a work group of Title I families that is higher than most of the students. Your graduation rates, your standardized test scores, your innovative approach to the homeless with the tiny homes. All that you do, it is an absolute honor and a privilege to thank you, because all the other wins that we work for here from a public policy standpoint don't matter nearly as much if we don't apply public policy for the edification and the benefit of our young people and our families. So it is with a gracious heart that I thank you for what you do. Senators from Florida. All right. Now, Mr. President, if you would welcome them to the
welcome all of you now to the State Senate. We're delighted to have y'all visiting with us. Thank you for your service back in Florence County. Welcome. Welcome.
And thank you, Hood Temple, and thank you, Dr. Richie O'Malley. In my opinion, the best superintendent in South Carolina. Thank you all.
Thank you, Senator from Florence. We're on page 26 of the calendar. Page 26, top of the page, S819 by the senator from Lawrence. The reading clerk will please read. Committee amendment on the senator from Greenwood. What purpose do you rise, sir?
Explain the underlying bill and the amendment.
Okay, I'm going to have the reading clerk publish the amendment.
The Medical Affairs Committee proposes the following amendment. Mr. Bill strikes all after the enacting words and inserts the following.
Senator from Greenwood is recognized. On the committee amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. As it relates to the committee amendment, what the underlying bill does basically is helps residential care facilities and as well as nursing homes provide employees tuberculosis test screening requirements. And so what the amendment does, it removes the definition of a two-step tuberculin test. It ties the definition of low risk into the CDC guidelines. It updates the time frames for a negative test. The old rule was 14 days. We're going to expand it to 3 months. Updates terminology throughout the start date and the days of employment to resident contact for clarity and clarifies the stipulations in which an applicant may begin work. Be happy to answer any questions.
And in question is the adoption of the committee amendment. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Question before us then is second reading of S819 on page 26.
So moved.
Question before us, the second reading. Under Rule 16, the bill will be given a second reading by a vote of 39-0. Senator from Richland, Senator Devine, what purpose do you rise?
For the purposes of an introduction.
You're recognized for introduction. Senator from Richland, Senator Devine.
Thank you, Mr. President, and members of the Senate. Today, it is my distinct honor to recognize and welcome over 300 members of the South Carolina Nurses Association to our chamber. Nurses represent the very heart of healthcare in our state. They are often the first to comfort patients, the steady presence during moments of uncertainty, and the trusted professionals who guide individuals and families through some of the life's most challenging experiences. Their work requires not only clinical experience, but compassion, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the well-being of others. Across South Carolina, from our largest hospitals to our rural clinics, from schools to community health centers, nurses serve on the front lines every single day. They promote public health, advocate for patients, strengthen families, and help ensure that quality care is accessible to all of our citizens. The South Carolina Nurses Association plays a vital role in supporting these professionals through leadership, education, and advocacy, while also helping shape policies that improve health outcomes for communities throughout our state. To the nurses visiting with us here today, please know that your dedication does not go unnoticed. On behalf of this body and the people of South Carolina, we thank you every single day for your service, your sacrifice, and extraordinary care. Today we have all of the nurses as well as their executive director, Dr. T.K. Curtis Pugh. Dr. Pugh, are you? We also have their president, Dr. Jada Quinn, who I believe her daughter is working for the other senator from Richland, and president-elect, my cousin, Dr. Nikita Barnes. Wow. So if the members of the Senate would please help me welcome these dedicated nurses.
All please stand and be recognized. We're delighted to have you visiting with us today. Thank you for your service in our communities across South Carolina. We appreciate you. Thank you, Senator from Richland. Senator from Edgefield, what purpose do you rise, sir?
Mr. President, are there any bills remaining on the uncontested statewide second reading calendar?
We're at the end of that category.
Mr. President, we have some nominations to consider, so I would move that the Senate proceed to an executive session.
Motion is that the Senate go into executive session. All those in favor would say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Sergeant, clear the chamber. Senate will go into executive session.
Hartsville, South Carolina is small with a big heart.
Hartsville might surprise you. For a small town our size, if you just look at the map or look at some of the numbers about Hartsville, you would not realize just how cool this place is.
Hartsville wants you here. And it's just who Hartsville is, it's who we are. Everything about it is welcoming.
To me, Hartsville is all about our community. We are a close-knit community where people know you by name. You can't go anywhere without knowing somebody.
You could ride right through the town and not blink and not know that you missed out on something great. But once you stop, it'll be on your mark for the next time you ride through here. Is definitely a place that you plan to stop, get out, shop, possibly even stay for a little while. It's just that type of place.
When you come to Hartsville, we're not just a place in South Carolina, we're a destination. Hartsville's home to a great deal of innovative business owners, from very small businesses to very large businesses.
When you are here, you feel like you've lived here or you've been a part of the community for a very, very long time. I have grown up here. I did go to school. I went to college at Charleston, but when I came back, it allowed me to just enter the world of Hartsville as an adult rather than a kid, and it still made me feel like I was at home. So this is my town, and I love it, and it's got the biggest heart ever. My husband and I own Vintage, and I basically do all the marketing and all the booking for the live music. We're a pub that brings in so many different aspects of the world, not just what you're drinking, but just the vibe, the feel. But also, we provide cheers. You will leave here knowing pretty much everybody and feeling like, oh my God, well, they're my best friends.
Hartsville is the home to strong businesses. We have small businesses and we have the very large businesses. It's home to a Fortune 500 company in downtown. We're a place for you to come and find an eclectic group of restaurants and shops, and in a situation where that you can walk from one place to another. Education is very important to our community. Coker started as Coker College and now has grown into Coker University. We are truly a college town with a university right downtown, half a block away. And we also are home to the Governor's School of Science and Math, which gives us access to faculty from around the world as part of our community. We also get to be host to some of the brightest students in the state. And they bring a vibe and an excitement to our downtown and our city as a whole that we can't replace.
I grew up here in Hartsville, and this building that we're in now was my grandfather's feed and seed store. He started the business when he got back from World War II. I go off to school, get my degree, I come back to Hartsville, just get really lucky and get a job at Sunoco, the big manufacturing company here in town. I was in the research department. I was there for about 10 years, and I realized what it was about small businesses that my granddad and my dad felt, just the culture of it. So I decided to leave that position, and I started a little consulting company. And a number of years later, my buddy Zach shows up with this idea. We designed Wildheart to be an awesome place for Hartsville. We were visiting the construction site about 75% of the way through, and she stops and said, you know, this place isn't just Casey's, and it's not just yours. This place is Hartsville's. And when he told me that, it made a tear come to my eye, because it really put into words what we were trying to do, and I had never been able to wrap it up that tightly. That Hartsville was envisioned and designed as a place for Hartsville to enjoy and be proud of. and for us to be a part of the community and the community to be a part of us. And if that sounds cheesy, I'm sorry, but that really was the intention. One of the coolest things we have, and it's not common amongst municipalities, is we have a full-blown water park here in Hartsville. The water park is runs a little bit like a recreation function because it's designed to serve the people of Hartsville, particularly those people who maybe can't afford to go to Carowinds or Myrtle Beach for the weekend. So they have that opportunity for recreation, outdoor recreation and swimming and fun, and last but not least, right here in their hometown.
I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm a transplant to South Carolina, having gone to school in the state and then marrying afterwards and raising a family here. So I've been in Hartsville for about 20 years now. But I find this community to be one where I can put my roots down and everything that I need is here, from church to social groups to important work that I can do here at the museum to make a difference in our community. The Hartsville Museum was founded in 1980, and so we've been around for a little over 40 years. But through donations from our community members, it helps to tell the story of the beginning of time of Hartsville all the way up till today. And I think people find themselves in this museum when they come to visit. The Hartsville Museum is a place where people are seeing themselves. It's a walk back in time and a walk up to the future. It's so exciting to bring in new exhibits or even new projects that we're working on. If anything, I believe the Hartsville Museum is more relevant today than ever. We've kind of changed the narrative in the museum to make us more relevant with history and the community that we are preserving. And so people can come in and explore something a little bit unique, whether it's a ghost tour or whether it's a new project in helping us with digitization, or maybe they have a picture that they have found in their collection and they just feel it belongs here at the museum. Because pictures tell most of the stories here in our museum.
We came here to Hartsville about a year ago. My wife and I were looking for a second location. We have one location in Bennettsville, South Carolina. We're both educators by trade. Hartsville just seemed to be the perfect place. We're in and out of Hartsville. We love the people that we met here. Found a great partner in Dr. Leroy Robinson. He seems to be one that everyone loves, and so we knew this was the perfect place for us.
What makes the Humidor unique is the fact that we have a humidor in Hartsville, South Carolina. Cigar lounges are very popular in bigger cities, bigger communities, and it's unique, first of all, because we're in small town South Carolina. People of all interests, all races, all creeds, where we come together on a common desire to enjoy good cigars and good bourbon. And I think that one thing makes me the happiest about the Humidor is that when I walk in here in the evenings and just to see the mixture of people, people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different religions, it just amazes me.
I think we're on the brink of something big. It's a small town with a big town atmosphere, very progressive-minded thinking. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where Hartsville takes us in the next 5 to 10 years.
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't do some of the things the bigger cities do. It is Hartsville, and there's a reason why it's Hartsville, because you leave here feeling loved, and when you are here, you are loved.
This is our town.
This is our town.
This is Hartsville.